I'm Ryan Northup, and I'm joined by women's strawweight prospect Jasmine Jasudavicius, who fights for the vacant CFFC strap at CFFC 83 against Elise Reed, August 13th. What's up, Jasmine?
What's going on?
Good. Thanks for taking the time. Appreciate it.
No, thank you for having me.
And one of the first things I want to talk to about is, obviously I mentioned at the top, you're fighting for that belt August 13th. Heck of a way to come back from the pandemic, is it not?
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
About when did you kind of hear about like this opportunity and when did you start kind of hearing talks that maybe you would get a fight soon?
It was probably 4 weeks ago now. They started talking about it, and then it was like a bit of back and forth, like trying to figure out like what organizations are actually doing shows and how it work and everything. And then I got a name and a contract, and then it was kind of a go time.
Yeah, being someone who's like competing on like the regional scene and everything, and obviously it's hard for those promotions to get back up and running. How tough was it during this time, kind of maybe not really knowing like when that next fight would be?
Yeah, it was weird. It wasn't too bad though for me personally. I kind of had the opportunity to work one-on-one with like my coaches, and I was working like with a small group of guys that we were still training like crazy, and like really honing in on kind of our weaknesses. So I think it was actually like a good reset for me.
Yeah. What was kind of like your situation like training? Like, how did you train? Because I actually talked to one of your teammates, Aaron Jeffrey, not too long ago, and he was
Yeah.
saying he actually had like a tractor and he hung up like a heavy bag on it and things like. Did you resort to anything like that?
I was fortunate enough to have a key to the gym, so I was still in the gym, yeah, there's like a little group of us that we were able to still train, so not too much change for me.
Yeah. And when you talk about like the CFFC strap too, I know like Miranda Granger held this title at one point. Now she's in the UFC, and
Yeah.
even Caitlin Chikagian, she didn't hold the strawweight title, but she did have the flyweight, bantamweight, so at CFFC. So I mean, I feel like CFFC kind of holds a lot of credibility to it. How much would it mean to kind of put your name amongst other women like that?
Yeah, that's awesome. Like the last couple girls that have had this title, they got a contract straight to the UFC. They didn't have to go like contender series or anything like that. So I'm hoping that the trend continues for me.
Yeah. And I know you fought professionally three times at 125, and the last fight was at 122 pound catch weight. Now, I
Yeah.
think I saw too that you wanted to fight that fight at 115. I know I think your opponent was the one that wanted to do a catch weight. But
Yeah.
what was the move to strawweight? Was that always in the cards for you?
Yeah, I've kind of always tried to find 115 fights, but it'll be like a short notice comes up for 120 or 125. So I've taken the opportunities, but with with this kind of going on, I was able to get a 115-pound fight, and yeah, I'm looking to stay at 115 for sure.
Yeah. Have you made the cut before to 115?
Yeah, I did in my amateur career. I cut
Okay.
I cut to 115 before. I've done like 120 day of and stuff, so I'm not concerned about it. I mean, I'm big for the weight class. I have like the unique opportunity if it's like a full camp, I can do 115, but I'm not like overly outsized for 125 if it's like a short notice thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say that. I was gonna say you didn't look like you were that small for 125 either. Because even in that last fight, I remember the commentators even had to say they were like it was actually not Jasmine who asked for the extra weight. They're
Yeah.
like it was her opponent who looked much
Yeah.
smaller.
Yeah. I feel like cutting weight is like more of like a mental thing than anything, and so that's why I don't mind going down to 115.
Yeah. And say it all goes well on August 13th too. Being like SCFC, this will be your second fight with them. But have you kind of thought about maybe like if you do win this title, maybe go for that 125 as well, if a bigger promotion doesn't come calling?
Yeah, I mean that's always an option. I pretty much just focus at like the task at hand, and then
Hmm.
then I enjoy that week off, and then I'm like back down to business and figuring out what the next step are is. Sorry, but Yeah, I pretty much I don't look too far ahead because I got to make sure that I'm not getting distracted or anything.
Yeah. And so let's talk about the task at hand. This fight on paper too. You look at Elise Reed. I know she's had an extensive amateur career, but only has
Mhm.
one pro fight. I think she also fought at atom weight too, which is 10
Yeah.
pounds lighter. Do you feel like you have like a distinct advantage in this one? Because on paper, it kind of seems like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have an advantage. She had a longer amateur career than I did. I've had a longer pro career, but I think overall she's actually had more fights than me. So I think it kind of works out in the wash. In all honesty, like maybe I did. I think I have an advantage because I fought for CFFC before, so I kind of
Hmm.
like almost feel at home within that organization. Like I know how they work, I know how they run. Like going to a new organization, it's always different the first time, and so I feel like that's more of my advantage than the experience with it, like with the additional fights.
Yeah. And just going off that too, how big of a factor do you feel like maybe the size advantage will play a role in this one?
Yeah, I think that will be a pretty big advantage. I'm looking forward to seeing her at weigh-ins to see how, because you never actually how small the person is. Like I've gotten fights before at 120 or 125 that I'm like, this girl, it says she's 5'5", but then we go and weigh in and she looks like the same size as me. So
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
Yeah. Have you
Yeah.
fought anyone like that has come up from atom weight before? I'm assuming not if you fought at 125.
No, no one yet. I mean, I've had like in the training room and stuff like that, but no fights.
Yeah. Well, was she a name that you were surprised about when it came up on the contract?
No, I mean, I heard her name like kind of a week prior, and and they were trying to make it work. So I wasn't overly surprised when I got the contract. I was like, ah, perfect.
And where do you feel like maybe she poses the biggest threat?
She throws a lot of kicks, and so she's got good leg dexterity. But I don't know. We'll see. You know, like I've seen her last fight, but I'm not gonna gauge on her last fight because everyone changes. Like especially during this quarantine time, it's like you're there. Even guys in the gym, they're like trying different things. They're trying new things. So who knows what person's gonna come out?
Yeah. And with like a time with like so much uncertainty too, and we kind of talked in the beginning about when that next fight would be, but the fact that you did get to fight for CFFC last time, now they kind of came calling back to get a title now. I mean, is this kind of working out perfectly for you?
Yeah, it really is. Like I'm super happy that that I fought for them before, and they're putting on a show. Like not a lot of organizations are putting on a show, and like CFFC is a sick organization. I really, really enjoy fighting for them, and like highly recommend if anyone else like is able to fight for them, like get on that card because they treat all the fighters really well, and they put on a good show, take awesome pictures, everything. Like it's a sick organization.
Yeah. And I feel like this has been a question that everyone's kind of been asking lately, but for you, what's kind of your stance, I guess, or how are you looking to approach fighting in the empty arena?
You know, I'm actually looking forward to it. I think it will be a cool experience. It'll be like something to talk about when I'm older. Like, oh, there was one time,
Yeah.
you know. So I'm looking forward to experiencing it actually. Like, I love obviously having the fans there, but I think it's gonna be cool.
Yeah. No, I mean, not many people can say they fought during a national pandemic, so.
Yeah, exactly.
And just with the way like everything's gone too, I mean, just how do you feel like up to this point too? Does it feel like a regular camp at this stage?
Mm, it doesn't really feel like a regular camp, but uh, it's not it's not that much different either.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I'm just like making it work regardless. So, I
Yeah.
think it's I think it's good.
Yeah. And have you had the chance to maybe talk to any teammates or anybody who has fought in like an empty arena? Like what's that like?
No, I haven't actually yet. I should probably reach out and see what it's like.
Yeah, it can't hurt. But
Yeah.
And I was talking to, I mean, I know I said I talked to Aaron, I think it was like a week or so back, but he's fighting on the same day. I know he cornered you in your last fight. Who are you looking to corner you this time around?
So this time around, it's going to be Chris Prickett and Matt DiMarcantonio. Only two corners are allowed because of the whole COVID
Okay.
thing. And yeah, I'm stealing Chris from Aaron because Aaron wanted him to corner, but I won.
How that worked? Like, did you guys have to play like a game or something? Like,
No, no, I just asked first and asked nicely, and I I guess maybe because mine is a title fight, maybe that's why he decided to go with me. But yeah, I'm very happy with my coaching staff.
yeah. Have you ever ran into a situation like this before, where maybe like another teammate had a fight like the same night, different card?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened last CFFC. It was like Chris, he's a coach for the wrestling team, the Brock wrestling team, and they had a tournament the same day. So they had a bunch of athletes, a super important tournament. So he was there, and then there were guys fighting at night, like 2 hours away. So he was like in Guelph, and then had to do like a 3 hour drive because it's like an
Wow.
hour away. 3 hours to help corner there and then back, and Matt Demarks was in Cuba, and so I had Vlad and Aaron my last fight just because that happens kind of often. That's why the other gym Parabellum, they've got the coaches there, and so we kind of change coaches like interchangeably.
Yeah. And now, before I let you go, Jasmine, anything that you're looking forward to, maybe that we didn't talk about for August 13th?
I'm just looking forward to fighting. I can't wait. It feels like it's been forever.
Yeah. What has that been like too? Just like not be able to do that. Like, I mean, do you feel a little more anxious this time around?
No, I feel more excited this time. Like normally I'm more anxious, but this time I'm like, oh, it feels like it's been forever. Like I
Yeah.
can't wait.